share your screen with the audience. That's crazy. What's up, everybody? I mean, could it be funny to have Anthony, like, just...
Sure, we could get Anthony on there.
We could have him... Like, if you put your laptop here...
Sure. Get him on the phone.
Okay, favorite thing about Brooklyn. I used to have an amazing view. This is such a... Is there... Actually, can you bring that higher table?
Mm-hmm.
Should I pop mic on?
You want to move this out the way? Pop that on there.
Okay. Okay, Anthony's on there. I'm gonna FaceTime you, Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. We got Anthony. Oh, wow, beautiful. Oh, this is some real technology we're using.
Wow, this is unbelievably trippy. This is what I have going on too.
Super cool. Let's see if this is doable. Okay, Anthony, let's start by talking about how we met. How did we meet?
I mean, we met, Rostam and I met at a Dijon show, and I, immediately, well, not immediately, after some negotiation in my head, made the call that I'm going to go up and talk to this artist that I love so much. And I led with some insane lines about Rostam's music being in true lines about, a handful of his songs being in my top 10 all time. And, I just was really grateful. Honestly, I mean, I guess we've never really talked about this since, but I don't really know why you gave me the time afterwards, but I was really grateful that you did.
Well, we went out to lunch at a Persian restaurant, and I just wanted to learn Anthony's story, and I found his story very cool. And I like that he was young. Anthony's 28, and now I feel kind of old. So I was kind of like, I needed someone young who wakes up in the morning with a lot of energy and goes after it. So
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've been thinking about, Rostam, since we've done a number of these Q&As now, one thing that I'm really interested in that I've never gotten to ask you is, how did you end up picking these to be the songs from American Stories that got sort of like selected? Like looking back, do you wish that we would have gotten, like Forgive Us to Know or any of these other ones that we didn't get in there? Or do you feel like we got the exact perfect ones?
well, it's funny you mentioned Forgive Us to Know because we've been I'm right now I'm in a rehearsal studio. Anthony's in Florida, but I'm in a rehearsal studio in Los Angeles, and we've been just like getting the last fine-tuned fine-tuning the last things about the show, because tomorrow's the first show in San Diego. And one of the things that I had to like really make sure I knew very exactly was the lyrics for Forgive Us to Know. And those are really hard lyrics to learn because they're kind of tricky. But I actually went to Target and I bought some index cards and I actually hand wrote each verse on an index card. And now I kind of have them and I can do like flashcards.
Wow.
And yesterday I got them completely. I was like 99% right yesterday, and today I was 100% right.
Let's go. I remember us filming. I mean, obviously this is tangential, but us filming the lyric video for that. And you were like, these lyrics are extremely difficult.
Yes, that's true. So, yeah, so to answer your question, Anthony, I guess I felt like I wanted to maybe save some songs like The Wait and Forgive Us to Know. Forgive Us to Know, I was scared of the lyrics. I think The Wait, there was a part of me that was like scared of how long it might take to put that together. And we actually, right before I came into this rehearsal studio, I was in another room in this building and we just played The Wait. And it sounds amazing, but it has taken a lot of work to get The Wait to sound good. And it really does sound special, but um I think it's gonna be one of the best songs on tour. Um Okay, someone's asking which musicians are in the live lineup for the tour, same as the new live videos, recordings. It's essentially the same. Um, there's a couple people that couldn't be with us, and there's some people that'll switch out in different shows, but I'm really excited about what we're able to do and the show that we've put together and I'm also really excited for you guys to see the songs that we played at Sound City in the American Stories live video because I think that came out really well. Okay, so wait, to answer
I mean,
there's 2 questions I think we need to make a quick answer to.
yeah.
Um, do you meet the fans at all the concerts? I'm going to try my best to meet the fans, definitely. Amazing. Someone's coming to Seattle. But then another thing is, what did we order at Azizam? So Azizam is this Persian restaurant in Los Angeles. It's like a low-key cafe. I remember what I ordered because I always order the same thing. But Anthony, do you remember what you ordered?
This is something that is hilarious and honestly just speaks to you, Rostam. But basically, everywhere I go with Rostam, I just am like, what are you going to get? Because I have to know that, like, when you go to a restaurant with Rostam, he's going to get the best thing there.
Wow.
And that's what I did. I got exactly what you got at Ozzy's. I was just like, I'm just going to double what you get.
That's the turmeric chicken. That's my order there. It comes with rice, and the rice has a few lima beans in it. We love that. Support local businesses, support Iranian-owned businesses when you can. And Azizam is one of those. Okay, so how did I pick the songs? I guess I wanted to pick the songs that besides the ones I told you guys I was scared of, which now we have on the tour, which I'm excited about. Yeah, I wanted to show off like these musicians that I've played with before and people who were part of the record, like Drew and Amir, and people that I played with like for years, like Julian McClanahan, who I met when I played an Amoeba in store for Half Light in 2017. and Julian passed me his number, and he said, "I'm a violin player, and I'd love to play with you." Um, which was which was kind of fate because Julian and I ended up playing like so many shows together, and it was so lovely to have him be part of my band and part of what I do. Um, but do people have more questions and about what?
Also, I do want to say to
Okay,
interject, Rostam, just so that
please.
you know, like and for everyone watching this, I obviously got to watch them, rehearse and then play these songs live. Like it's an unbelievable super band. I'm going to be at the show on Saturday in LA. I can't wait to watch it just because knowing, even hearing you talk about like that you guys just rehearsed Hardy, I'm literally sitting here thinking like, what is that going to look like? I can't wait. And so if you do, if you live in any of the areas where these shows are coming to you, it's like kind of an unmissable thing because, not to be annoying, I have no stake in the game. I just think it's really the most wonderful thing to watch live. It feels like you're watching people do magic in front of you. And that's how I felt the whole time we were recording Sound City.
Okay, we got more questions popping in. Someone asked about Guan. So that was my friend Hamilton Barry who played cello, and he also did play on Like a Spark and Hardy on this album, and he played the cello part on Walcott that I wrote. He played on M79. He's been on so many things that I've done throughout the years. He's an amazing cellist, one of my favorite people to write for. Not to be confused with Hamilton Lighthouser, another person I love working with who lives in New York. They're both the musical Hamiltons in my life. Okay, what merch will you have? Tell us about the openers for San Diego. Opening for San Diego is Henry Solomon, who's an amazing sax player. He's doing a solo woodwind set. I think it's going to be really cool. You're going to be able to vibe out to it, and then maybe Henry's going to join our big band for a song. Someone said, "What New York spot exemplifies the album?" I think since Anthony and I ate there a couple times while we were editing music videos, like while we're working on back of a truck and Hardy, we ate it at Dimes Cafe. I think that probably is a good answer. Okay, someone says, "Are you going to play songs from older albums too at the concerts?" Okay, so one thing that Anthony really wanted was for us to play Bike Dream at Sound City, and it didn't happen. But now, as of last night, we really have a tight version of Bike Dream.
Let's go.
Yes, with the band. So,
I'm so stoked to hear that. Wow. Very exciting.
okay, someone says, "Is Anthony based out of NY2? Do you have other projects coming up?"
I'm based out of LA. And we did a lot of this stuff in New York though, and Rostam and I went there together, and we just kind of brain blended and did a lot of this in New York. I think like the dream is to be able to be in both of those amazing cities at the same time, but a lot of my work really takes place in LA. Yeah, and I'm always working on stuff. I think that this Rostam work has really been inspiring to watch, us put together this bigger project and take it around the country and show it to people. And I'm a real lover of film, so I am just going to keep pushing on that. And then I'm going to then beg Rostam to score something for me someday. So just if anybody's screen recording this, we'll write this down at some point. I'm going to have to beg Rostam someday because I really would love to do that with him. So hopefully someday we get to do that together.
Also, I have I have a couple questions now for you, Anthony, which is, or actually, I want to tell the peeps on this chat a couple things. So one thing is that me and Anthony didn't just collaborate on this Sound City concert film. Anthony also directed pretty much everything that I did for this project, including the story of videos, the story of Campus, the story of Young Lion, which I really love how that turned out, the story of Like a Spark, and then also the narrative music videos like the Hardy video and Back of a Truck, which that's, I think, one of my favorite Rostam music videos that's come together, and it's the only one that I'm not in. Um, and I always wanted to make a video that I wasn't in, and at the same time, I feel like that's a very special, um, Rostam video, and it feels, very personal, um even though I'm not in the video. I think that was something I always wanted to do, was have a music video where it was, like, just kinda telling a story.
And we've also been working on these things. I don't know if anyone's, I'm sure people have watched these and be interested, the people in here, to ask anything about them too. But we've been doing these story of videos as well, walking back through, iconic moments in Rostam's discography and things. And it's just been so cool. When you meet somebody, I feel like you can attest this to Rostam, in your work, but when you meet somebody that it really makes sense with, you just want to make as much as you can together when you're in that pocket. And I feel like we made a lot together. I'm really proud of all of it.
Okay, someone asked, "What train line were you riding in Hardy?" I think that's a great question, and we can exclusively reveal on this. Um, it was the JMZ. Is that right?
Yeah, and you can't do what we did. By the way, that was extremely. They were not happy with us at certain times. So, but if you want to see what that looks like, if you go to the front or the back of the train, the last or the first car, you can see all of that, and it is beautiful. For whatever reason, the windows in the train car have like these like star filters on them naturally that like make every single light that comes by feel like you're in the Matrix. It's unbelievable.
I think it's the system of of like tinting. Okay, more questions. Oh yeah, someone said, "Are you going to be playing songs from older albums?" Yes. Um, yes, the answer is yes. Some of those songs include Guan, which sounds amazing right now, Young Lion, Bike Dream that we mentioned. Unfold You is a song that I feel like live, there's the way the drums sound live is really special, so I'm excited, um, for that. Someone says, "Your drummer is an East Coast jazz drummer. How did you find him, and how did he become such a good fit for your music?" So, this person is talking about Drew Tasheen. Drew is based on the West Coast now, LA. I think I found him possibly through Julian McClanahan originally, who, like I was saying before, found me on Amoeba or at Amoeba in that in-store in 2017. Are you gonna play any covers or is it a surprise? Yes, there might be some covers, and yes, they will be surprises. EOS would be cool too. I agree, that would be an amazing song to play. Um But I think I'd need 4 string players for that one, so
That's how I'm interested to interject. I'm interested to see Hardy that way because that song feels. I don't know how you're going to do that without 4 string players as well.
well, so Hardy, we would need, like, 24 string players if we really wanted to recreate it, but right now, actually, we have, Jack from the band playing cello and Amir on violin, and right now it's sounding really amazing and full, because yeah, I think with that song, it is kind of like a piece of electronic music, and there's no way to play it, um there's no way to play it without using the electronic components. Someone says, "Where did the ending and why naming convention in your song start?" I wanna hear more about what that means. Um, do either of you have musicians in your family? No, my family doesn't really, but there's a lot of love of music, but, um, not like some other families. What about you,
Yeah,
Anthony?
I'm the same way. I have a cousin that is in the band Widow Speak. He plays guitar. But no, I come from a family of athletes. So not a lot of art in my actually, that is untrue. My dad's oldest brother was in a band called Muse, and I'm told that they played big shows in the like 70s, but I don't actually know. He's no longer with us, so I don't really have any of that info. But if you have ever heard of the band Muse, not the one that is the big one now, but more of like a reggae jam band, he was in that band, you know, in the 70s.
Yeah, that's interesting. Muse is a good name for a band, and someone eventually did land on that.
They did get that one.
Okay, someone's saying that there was an unreleased song you played at the Independent in San Francisco. I'm looking for this this might be a song that it was one of those songs where I could never get the recording right. Um, and I never released the recording because I could never get it right. And it's very kind of classical, Mark Mothersbaugh, kind of Beatles vibes. I think maybe we did play it in San Francisco, but it has never been released. And I tried to make the recording sound good for a long time, and I could never make it sound the way I heard it in my head. So, I'm sorry that that song lives, um, in a weird space between unfinished. Um, okay, someone said, I've always been curious what the title BO18 means. Can you explain? Also, I was at the LA premiere a couple weeks ago and it was a blast. Can't wait for the tour. Well, first of all, thanks for coming to that premiere. Anthony was there too. That was the first time playing Come Apart in front of people and asking them to stomp and clap, which is something that I will be doing at every show because it's gone really well. Um, so I'm really excited about that. Um, the title BO18, I guess there is a story there. Um, but I don't think I can tell the story right now. I will tell the story one day. I think it's an interesting story. And it involves a gay club in the Middle East, like an underground gay club in the Middle East.
Well,
But or a queer club in the Middle East. But well, yeah, I'll tell the story one day. How do you find the next Clara? Do artists send you demos? Will Anthony capture footage of any of the live shows? Maybe if we're lucky. Well, actually,
I will definitely.
we did
I'm
shoot.
sure we'll get some stuff.
We shot some things at the Ford Theater, and I think those will come out between. We visited the Ford Theater where I'm playing a full band show on Saturday, but we did shoot a couple little snippets and acoustic performances and
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, when you shoot live music for them, you have to like really have everything dialed and put together. The nice thing about Rostam is kind of anywhere that he is with the guitar or even just by himself, you can get something really amazing. So hopefully that acoustic stuff that we shot at the Ford exists somewhere soon, and it is very cool to hear just somebody take like for me, Back of a Truck was the song that immediately jumped out for me on this project. And I have just grown to be so in love with that song. And we're sitting there at the Ford and Rostam just starts playing like a completely new version of it with just a guitar. Things like that, you know, make this live show so cool and means that we can kind of just shoot him. I can hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, just shoot him forever kind of doing stuff like that.
that would be amazing. Oh my gosh, we only have 6 minutes. So if you guys have any more questions, there's only 6 minutes remaining before this premiere actually happens, and I'm pretty excited about this premiere. Okay, there was some inspiration for the film, some live performance that you guys wanted to evoke. Definitely, yeah, we talked about the Dijon concert film was, I mean, naturally, because we met at a Dijon concert, it would make sense. But we also had there were some references. There's the Rolling Stones doc, or concert film that's called Sympathy for the Devil. That was one that I loved and sent to Anthony. And there's a
And that
perform
amazing Tom Petty video that you loved.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
gosh.
that's not a live performance, but I love that. I love that music video, and the song itself was recorded at Sound City, which is a cool connection. Okay, jumping around. You did a song for a Converse ad in 2010. Yes, I remember. It's called All Summer. And it was amazing. Okay, that's very nice. I I said yes to doing that because I really love the song by Julian Casablancas, Santi Gold, and Pharrell that's called My Drive Through. And that was kind of a huge inspiration to me because I just thought that was such a cool song, and it was for an ad, but it was like actually a good song, and I was like, oh, I got to try and do something that's also a good song, but also an ad. So that was me, Kid Cudi, and Best Coast. I don't know if we can release it, but it is floating around on, of all places, YouTube. So YouTube is the only place you can watch it and listen to it. Okay, someone's asking more questions. More apt question on a song naming convention. What's with all the back of a cab, back of a truck? I mean, it's only two. I did think there was something kind of funny about having two songs that have back of a in them, from the back of a cab and back of a truck. Are you planning on doing shows in Latin America, especially Mexico City? I've always wanted to see you perform live. Yes, I would love to make it out to Mexico City. What's your favorite part about touring and traveling? I do love San Francisco, and right now that is the only show that is sold out so far. So what city could step to San Francisco? But I really do love San Francisco, and the show's a week from tomorrow, so it's pretty exciting. I hope you and Hamilton do a tour together one day. No question, just love. Well, I've got love for you and an answer to that question soon. Will there be a Discovery LP too? I don't rule it out. Okay, what can you say about the drums on To Feel No Way? Well, there's an expression in jazz called stirring the soup, and it's where you put two brushes on the snare and you rotate those brushes and you never stop contact with the top of the snare drum. And that's what stirring the soup is, and that's what you're hearing on the song To Feel No Way. Okay, what was your first concert attended, and what was your favorite concert? Anthony, why don't you start by answering?
I don't have a cool answer. My first concert that I ever went to was a church event in my youth. This man by the name of Toby Mac, which I'm not proud of that, but I was a child, and he was in a band called DC Talk back in the day. And then my best concert that I ever went to, that is extremely difficult to answer, but I did really adore the Frank Ocean Coachella performance. I know that that's controversial.
I was there. I liked it too.
Oh, it was so good. What about you? What was your first concert?
I think my parents took me to see Bob Dylan in France, and Tracy
That's so cool.
Tracy Chapman was opening for Bob Dylan, so it was very cool. And then let me think. My favorite concert, I feel like maybe I saw Cass McCombs play at Joe's Pub, and his voice was just so on the money that night. And I just love the way he sings, and he was hitting all the notes, and it was an amazing, amazing night. Okay, favorite synthesizer or musical instrument? Probably my favorite synth is this synth called the Korg Trident. I bought it because Phoenix used it on the song 1901. Oh shit, we only have 1 minute. And I've used it on a bunch of my records, including on the song EOS. Someone talked about that earlier today, so I just want to tie it back. Okay, someone served Tracy Chapman food once. Amazing. Okay, what's something we should pay attention for in the concert film? Anthony, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, obviously we did a lot of camera work, pay attention to obviously like the nuances of what we're doing with the camera, because I think it's really fun and cool. But realistically, the best thing about this is to just hear what Rostam has done with the music. It's sort of like a visual piece to go along with that. And if you like it, then trust me, you're going to want to just come see that live show wherever you can in the country, because I've only gotten bits and pieces of it from Rostam, but this and that are really kind of like, I don't know if people are still using this expression, but they're my current Roman Empire is this live show. So I truly can't wait to see it live, and I can't wait for you guys to see this version.
Evan, so what happens now? We hit 6 or 9, depending on your time zone. We are on the hour. Oh, and do we need to end this chat to go to the premiere, or will that automatically happen?
It should be automatically, but
let's keep the party going. Yes, I won't be on video anymore, but you are Rostam and Anthony.
If you end the live, it'll redirect everybody to the.
Okay, so let's go over to. I'm gonna end the stream, so let's go over to the premiere. All right, see you guys at the premiere.